Okay, we're starting in Design Space. We've got a new untitled project here. We're going to start with our text. I am going to do just a simple O monogram for my friend for her pie slicer. So we are going to go to System because those are the fonts that I have that are free, and we don't need to pay for Design Space fonts in my opinion, but that's, you know, up to you. If you've just started out, it's totally fine to have those fonts for now, but there are plenty of free fonts and different groups you can get in to have fonts. We're going to type in Royal because that's the font I have downloaded from DaFonts, DaFonts.com. We're going to pick this O. I just opened it. I just made it big just so we could see. We're going to go over here to Engrave. These are all your options here. Now we're going to click Engrave. And what this does is it kind of opens it up because it's not going to engrave all that dark spot. So it kind of reverses it, makes those black spots that were there open, if that makes sense. So we're going to engrave this, but if we just engraved this one time, it's probably not going to give us enough depth to the engraving. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this about 5 times. I did 3 on the first one that I did, and then I did 5 on the second one, and I really liked the depth of the 5. You could even go deeper if you wanted to. So what we're going to do is collect all of these together. We're going to center them all as one, because what we want to do is just layer, 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 right? So, but if we went to cut this right now, it would cut them 0, an O, 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 and we don't want that. We want them all to be together, but we don't want to weld it because, so what we're going to do is attach it. We're going to attach all those together. So it's going to cut that many times. See, they're all still here on the side here. And so if we welded it, it would all just become one, which that's what we started with in the first place. So we want it to have, you know what? I forgot. I wanted to do 5 on this one. So we are going to duplicate one more time and pull this in and center it. Okay, there we go. All right, and now we're going to attach it. Okay, and I've already measured, which I'll show at the end. I'm going to do this part of the video first, and then I'll show you the pie slicer, the exact dimensions and what it looks like and whatnot later in this video. So right now, I've already measured it. I'm going to put it at 1.5 inches. It's small, but it's going to come out, I promise. It looks kind of jumbled right now, but it will. I'm going to unlock this and just make this an even O. Okay, so now I'm 1.5 by 1.5. Okay, I've attached it. Now I am going to go make it. Now we're going to place the pie server right at the bottom because of the handle that's going to come out here. So the triangle piece will be here and the handle will be here. So when it goes into the Cricut, it will go all the way in, and then that handle will be kind of sticking out the back. So what I've found is that we need to have this over just a tad bit on that mark. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the way that it sits on there or the way it engraves. I don't know, but it just needs to kind of be a little off-centered from what I have noticed. So I think I'm going to leave it there. I am going to continue, and then we are going to end this part of the video, and we're going to pick up with me recording on my phone. Hopefully it will make sense, but I wanted to go over this real quick. So all of this is blacked out because you can't engrave on any of this stuff. So it's going to tell you browse all materials, and this is going to be compatible right here. So it's going to give you all the things that essentially are compatible with you know, your engraving tool. So I did stainless steel on a piece of like a, well, no, I did aluminum on this little aluminum sheet that I got from the dollar store that was attached to some magnets that I bought just as a test, and it worked well. But I actually used the bronze setting for the pie server because it's a rose gold coated stainless steel pie server, and it seems to work good. I haven't tried anything else, but that's working. It's working well for me. And I mean, this isn't something you're going to use every single day. It's more for like a piece that you can have for the holidays, or if it's a wedding gift or something like that. So I mean, and it's going to need to be hand washed, and it's going to need to be polished. So just so you know, because I mean, I was using a microfiber cloth to polish it, and I'll show that in the video as well. So I picked bronze, and I click done, and then this is where we will load it into the mat, and I will pick up the video from there. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have to you have to know Design Space pretty well in order to do this. If anybody needs more detailed information, just comment below and I can explain more. Okay, thank you. Okay, I have to go back and fix something because I forgot to tell y'all. It's not going to be able, because of the way that the pie server kind of comes out and then it kind of comes in, we're going to need to pull this up like about to here. But you know, all of this is relative to the pie slicer that you get. If you've got a bigger piece, if you've got a smaller piece, whatever it is, you need to you know, make sure that you're measuring it in the sense of how wide and how tall and that kind of thing, how much room you have to work with. But you would, in this particular one, which I will try if I can figure it out, because this is my first video, to link the pie slicers that I bought off of Amazon. I will put that in the description, or I'll link it somehow in the comments or something, whatever. However I can figure it out, I'll do it. But this is, we need to move this up, you know, up to here like that. And so it can't sit right here because the way that the cutter kind of comes down, you know, it kind of comes like this. And so we need it to kind of be on that little bit fatter part that's right there. So anyways, that was, I wanted to make sure. And you just, whenever you set the pie server down, you need to make sure that it's taped and that it's right at that mark. Even if you wanted to do it over here or over there or whatever you want to do, the center just seems to kind of balance the, you know, you kind of don't want it to be tilting this way or tilting that way. So it kind of balances it there. So anyways, that's what I've worked out. If you find a better way, do it and let us know. Anyways, I wanted to add that extra clip in there. Okay, hopefully that helps. Okay, first of all, I apologize for my amateur. This works a lot better when it's standing up, but anyway, so just ignore my little leg here. But I wanted to show you what I started off with, and the new one, the way it looks. So this was the one that I did for myself. I did this one just as a trial, which, you know, I'm in love with the color. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I think this would present very well for a gift. But you see how my P over here, the little part kind of, it was a little bit off of the edge. Sorry, if I can focus it, sorry. So that's kind of why I moved it over. And I did make this a little bit longer too, because I liked the curliness and I wanted it to fill. And I like this, but I think I would stick with maybe keeping it just a tad bit smaller, just to kind of avoid having those kind of incidents there like that. So this was the one I made for my mom. Her last name starts with a D. This one, Cricut Design Space was doing something, you know how it is. It is always going slow or whatever. So it is a little bit crooked, and it's also kind of off to the side there as well. And so that's why I was saying to kind of move it over to the edge here. Is you're going to put it in you're going to put it on the mat like this. You know, so I wanted it to kind of be off to the side. Also, you're going to want to flip your letter, which I did not do in the very first part of this video. So make sure you do that before, because you're going to see it in Design Space like that. But when you, so in a sense, you have to mirror it, but not really mirror it. You got to just flip it over. So you need it to be flipped like this, upside down, basically. And so I did not add that in the first part of this video. But you'll see that the line here is at the 15, and that's the very center of the mat there. And so you're going to want to place that stem, you know, right there. But you want to make sure, and that's why I was talking about the, in the first part of the video, was that you want to make sure that it kind of comes up to where it's like right about here. You know what I mean? So, I hope that makes sense. So when you tape this onto here like that, you want to make sure everything is lined up quite nicely. And then you'll want to put that letter just a tad bit up like that. And so you can fit it right in that little section right there. Okay, again, I apologize for my little leg. But I wanted to show you, these come in their little packages here. And then we want to place this, I'm kind of working behind the camera here, so if I knock it, I apologize. But we want to place this as far down here like that, from where I have it set up on Design Space. Also, you're going to kind of be close to the edges here, so when you use this painter's tape, you want to go as close to the edge as you can, and really make sure that it is down. The engraving tool will push the tape out of its way if it starts getting in its way, but I try to, just so that it doesn't mess it up, so I try to kind of, so this was my way of, you can go ahead and really tape down that tip, because that's where it's gonna, you know, pull up. So you want to make sure these pieces are really down there. Okay, and then you see how it is going to go right into. You also want to make sure that these are kind of out of the way, right? So move those out of the way. And then also, we need to switch out our engraving tool. So we take our cutter out, put our engraving tool in the slot, and lock it down. So, and then I will start it up again and show you the engraving. Okay, and we're ready to you see how the handle, if you put it this far down, it doesn't actually go up in there. And I'll just show you a little bit of this, not the whole thing. going to pick up and spin like that sometimes. It'll tell you on the screen too. See how the tape is kind of pulled up a little bit there? Because I put it too close to the edge. It's going to pick up and spin like that from time to time. I think it's to get the shavings off or something. Okay, we are all done here. And just lift this up. Take that tape off in a minute. But here we go. So now this O has it's off to the side a little bit. So that's probably going to be a work in progress kind of thing to, you know, I moved it over for that one, for these two. You know, this one was a little over that side. This one was over this side. But, I mean, all in all, I think it looks really nice. I think our creative, probably OCD minds will probably see the difference, but I don't know if you were giving it to someone. If, I didn't like the D in this font because it kind of was like too circular or something. You really couldn't tell that it was a D. So that's why I went with this other one. And this one had like all these little like squigglies off to the side, but I removed those. I sliced them out. But anyways, those are the 3 that I have done so far. I zoom in on them a little bit. So that's that. These, I think, are absolutely gorgeous. I think if you were giving them as a wedding gift or something, they would present extremely well. I think, but do you see, because I can kind of tell in the light, I don't know if you can tell in the light, but this one seems to be a lot deeper, whereas I only did 3 on this one, and I did 5 on this one. So, I don't know, I can kind of tell it's a lot more faint than this one is, and this one's a lot deeper. It really looks like an engraving, so. Also, one more thing I wanted to show you was the polishing of these. This is a microfiber cloth. This is actually from a pair of Tiffany glasses that I got a long time ago. These microfiber cloths work so well, especially for cleaning your glasses. You shouldn't clean your glasses with anything but these really need a silver polishing or something like that. You're going to really need to, especially if you're selling them and you're sending them, because I don't know if you can see the sticky stuff from the backside, and all you have to do is just kind of polish that off. You can get these cloths at Sunglass Hut, at Walmart, Costco. They sell them everywhere. I use the big ones that are towels. I just kind of grabbed this one real quick to show y'all in this video. But I use the ones that are not the ones that you clean, like your house. But these really thin ones. Those are the ones that you're going to want to use for something like this. But see how much better that is? So I would make sure you handle this as the least you have to, and then box it up and put it in the, and then I would advise making a little card or something that says you need to hand wash this and it needs to be polished from time to time. But then that's it. So there you go. There's your pie servers. Thanks for watching. Anyways, if you have any questions, please feel free to submit them below in the comments, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you, or send me a message, and I will get it answered for you in that way too. If I missed a complete opportunity, let me know, and I'll try to do another video. But thank you very much for commenting, and I hope you're able to do these yourself and make some really awesome Christmas gifts. Thanks for watching.